Hi, I'm Erica Arnold, and this is my EDL 852 Mod 1 Analysis of Well-Written Implemented Vision and Mission Statements. So a little bit about me. I am a special education teacher. I'm in my 16th year currently in Liberal, Kansas. I've lived here for 15 years. I moved here when I began my teaching career out here from the Finger Lakes of Central New York. So it is a little bit different, but I do enjoy it, and I don't know, I like Southwest Kansas. It's definitely a different environment. So what I learned about vision statements is school vision statements. They should outline the school's values and objectives. They should speak to your organization's purpose. They should describe your high-level goals for the future. A guiding vision describes the desired future and outcomes for your school. So without a good vision statement, how do you know where you're going and what you want to accomplish? It's a necessary thing. It should be your driving force as to what you're going to do to improve your school and how you're going to make things better for not only your staff, but especially for your students. Mission statements, you want to use your vision statements to create your mission statements. They should be focused. They should be displayed everywhere. They should be the primary driving force to your lesson planning and implementation. Some of the included elements in a mission statement should have your name of your school or district, your beliefs and values, your steps to achieve your vision. You have your vision statement in place. What are you going to do to reach that vision? And the components of your school that make you unique. Sometimes schools have vision statements only, sometimes schools have mission statements only, but using them both and working together, again, is in the best interest for not only your students, but your staff, and as an administrator yourself as well, so that you are ensuring that what your school wants to do is what is happening. In order to write good vision and mission statements, you need to look at the core set of values within your school. For that, you need to include all the persons responsible for making the vision of a school a reality, because that'll lead to a clearer picture of your school's core values. So when you're getting ready to write this vision statement, include everyone that you can, because that gives you that picture. You'll know what not only your leadership team's core values are or what they think the schools are, but you get a better vision throughout all of your teachers and staff, and include your students as well. Again, that's going to show you what your core set of values for your school is. Your vision, once you write it, when it expresses your core set of values, it can help and recruit like-minded candidates. Who else has those core set of values? And vision should be reviewed to ensure your values continue to be met. In discussing with my principal about our vision statement, that happened a few years ago, and we have basically a new staff, and we talked about it's time for us to review to make sure that those continue to be the values for all of the staff that we have currently in our school. For future successes of all, your mission and your vision doesn't mean much unless it's deeply integrated. Leaders sometimes may demand excellence through policy, but buy-in is needed. They can tell you all that they want. This is what you have to do. We've all seen it happen. You have to do this because of this. And if you don't do that, this is going to happen. Unless you believe that that's the right way for the school to go, or they've created some sort of buy-in. I mean, how many of us honestly really are like, yeah, that's going to be at the forefront of our mind. So your vision and your mission, deeply integrate that into your school to the best that you can, and that will enhance your buy-in. It will make your school continue to grow and to lead and to achieve what you want to do with your students. For mission and vision successes, again, you need to look at your core values. What's happening at your school? What do you need right now? Who is at your school? What do they believe? What do they think? So for that, to get those core values, you need to include all your stakeholders. In our school in particular, we are Leader in Me school. So to me, that means we need to make sure our student lighthouse team has a voice, our parent lighthouse team has a voice, not just our regular lighthouse team that encompasses our teacher leaders, but also our staff as a whole. That will get us those core values. Your mission and your vision need to be understandable. Everyone needs to understand what that means and why we're doing it. Again, that is why you should include all stakeholders. You must have buy-in in order to do that, and including people that are going to make this happen is going to produce that buy-in, because when we all work together to say this is what our mission and our vision are, this is what we want to do for our students, then we're all going to work towards that goal. And working towards that goal, looking at your mission and your vision, that should drive your instruction. How is what you're teaching and how you're teaching meeting those mission and visions that we as a staff, student, body, and parent teams have put into place. So, in my opinion, leadership needs, when it comes to vision and mission statements, you need to be involved. Make sure that you're involved, make sure your whole staff is involved, all those stakeholders that I just talked about, all those people need to be involved. And I believe as an administrator, when we're looking at those, it's your responsibility to make sure that all those people are involved. It needs to be in your face. So by that, I mean, it needs to be posted everywhere. Kids need to see it. The adults need to see it. Put it on your letterhead for your school. Put it on your school announcements daily. What can you do to make sure that everyone knows what our mission is and how we are going to achieve that? So doing all those things, again, we talked about, that's going to create buy-in. It is also your job to continue that buy-in. How can you make sure that everyone is buying into this and that it's happening? You need to make sure it's being used as a driving force. Check in on what your teachers are doing. How do they feel about it? Do they believe in those things still? Are they teaching to show that they believe in those things? And it's also the principal and the administration's job to make sure revisions are happening every couple of years, to make sure those goals are still current, they are still necessary, they are still where your staff and your students feel and want to go. So for continuous improvement, again, the driving forces for your vision and your mission and that you need to look at is look at your data. How, when we look at our data, are we going in the direction we want to meet our vision? How are we usually using technology within our classes? How are we creating digital citizenship with using that technology? How is that meeting our vision and our mission? Is there equity and diversity within not only our vision and our mission, but how we're teaching and what we're doing to meet those needs? Are we meeting needs in the community? How are we showing our students, our staff, and our community that we are trying to make improvements? We want our kids to learn, and we all need to work together to do this. So for my reflection in talking with my principal, we have a vision statement in our building, and we talked a lot about, is it current, is it relevant? We wrote that as a redesign team approximately 4 years ago. We do have a lot of new staff members. We do have some new programs that we've implemented after, seeing, hey, some of the things we chose were not what we wanted. They're not meeting our vision. So do we need to revisit this? I do believe we need to revisit it. And we talked about that and how we're going to go about that. So compared to things that we read, I believe that our vision is pretty strong. It does meet a lot of the criteria. The students and staff in our building know it. They can tell you what it is. We do work on that and recite that daily. So I think that's good. when we were implementing it, I remember the process we thought about. We had one in place to begin with that was administrator driven. We kind of tweaked that by our Leader in Me program. So, however, when we did it, it was mostly just our leadership staff. We did not do that as a whole. We did not include students or parents or anything like that. So I think when we revise it, we can use some of those things. And again, you know, it is being used, but are we using it to drive our instruction? I'm not sure. So I think that's something that needs to be looked at. As far as a mission goes, that's basically joined with our vision statement. As I said, we only have one in our school. So it definitely should be better implemented. I think that we need to use the guide that was given by the University of Maine Cooperative Extension. There was a lot of good things to write good visions, write good missions, and there was a lot of ways to use action plans. And I think in my particular school, because we are a Leader in Me school, action plans are something we're very familiar with. So I think that would be a great guide to use when we sit down and hopefully write a new vision and mission for our school, or at least tweak our vision and create a mission. As far as it reflecting our values, again, we've had a lot of staff changes since then. More than half our schools, different people. We've had a couple of different curriculum changes over the past couple of years. So what are we doing with our vision statement right now? It's meeting our Leader in Me needs, but we need to look at it academically. And again, we need to shift. We're currently supporting what we're doing, I believe, wholeheartedly through Leader in Me, but there are other pieces and other steps. First being creating a mission statement that our school needs to explore. For my concluding statements, this assignment for my standard correlation, I did investigate and discover different components and reasons for having good vision and mission statements and how they can be used to improve the climate, the culture, the academia of your school. I believe it's very relevant to my current learning because it's increased my knowledge of powerful and relevant mission statements and how they can be used to drive lessons, instructions, to express your core school values and your purpose for being there. As far as my reflection goes, I've already discussed with the principal, you know, maybe we need to revise this vision statement. We need to create a mission statement. So those are some tasks that him and I are going to sit down and think about how we can go about doing them. And now that we have a student lighthouse team, a parent lighthouse team, a teacher lighthouse team, all those things, I think that it's important that we get all those people together to work on it. And I also think that if I am able to complete that task this year, that is going to increase my knowledge for when I'm a part of my own building's administration team. And it'll keep the momentum going and keep the driving force and the learning increasing in all schools that I'm a part of. The next 3 pages are my references. And have a fabulous day.